Welcome to the course Introduction to Blended Learning. This is a brief orientation to familiarize yourself with the course and the course expectations. So, a little bit about me as your facilitator, course facilitator. My name is Jill Pellegrini, and let me just introduce my family to you. I currently reside in Castle Rock with my husband Andy, who is also an educator, my daughter Sally, who is 8, and my daughter Mary, who is 11. And of course, this is our very spoiled cat, Fuzzles. So something about myself, I am actually a career changer. I was graduated with a BBA from University of St. Francis in Illinois, and I actually worked in marketing and sales for a while, and then I went back to school to earn my BA in English and secondary education. So I have over 13 years of teaching experience, predominantly secondary, mostly high school experience. However, I also taught 6th through 8th grade as well. And in terms of my online and blended experience, I have 6 years of that. I worked for Colorado Virtual Academy, so I did the full-time 100% virtual teaching for 3 years, and then I moved to a blended environment and currently work at Falcon Virtual Academy, which is an enriched virtual blended model, and we'll get more into that, of course, as you begin this course. So there will be a discussion your first week to share a little bit about yourself, and we'll go over where that is in the course. So here are the objectives for this particular orientation session. This is obviously a recorded session, but I do want to talk about how to navigate the course, some of the expectations, assignments, and so forth, and then finally to review what is going to be coming up next. The first thing I want to point out too is when you log into your class, you will be at your landing page and you will see an updates folder here. If you click on that, you'll see any communication that I'll be sending out to you. So for instance, some of what I've already posted was the original welcome when the class was going to start about a week ago. I'll also put event reminders, so we'll have our first synchronous Google Hangout session tomorrow, Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. So I'll add an update there. I'll include the link as well as the event reminder that I have sent out to you. And you'll also see a calendar event reminder here, as well as the assignments that are due. This has been altered. You'll probably notice where are those quizzes I saw there when I first logged into the class. For some reason, my updates were not taking. Hopefully, they're going to take now. So what that means is that this is essentially a self-paced course. That means that what you put into the course is what you're going to take out of the course. So because you are all going to be implementing blended models of learning in your classrooms, obviously if you are presented with an article that our course developer added as an excellent resource to the course, and that is a very long article, you look for what you need to take out of that article. So for instance, if you're in the section learning about disruptive versus sustaining blended models, that's what you want to read the article for. And again, if you need to read that article 2 or 3 times to get something out of it, you'll do so. If you're like, hey, I've got the definitions, I know it, I feel comfortable, you move on. So as professionals, the expectation is that again, what you need to pull out of the content to apply to your teaching is what you'll be doing in this course, okay? So then why the assignment due dates? This is just essentially to organize the content of the class. So when you see due dates for various assignments that you'll be completing in this course, it's again just to say, hey, these first 3 assignments, you'll see due dates as Friday. That's just to keep you on course so that if you want to stay within the parameters of, yes, I'm going to do all of this for session 1, I'm going to do all this for session 2 and session 3, then you will move very easily through the course content, okay? But again, because it's self-paced, if you wanted to do everything that last week of the course, of course, that's your prerogative. So it's entirely up to you, okay? Having said that, I will offer some live synchronous sessions, Google Hangouts, that are not required for attendance. However, the session is more of an open office hour, so you could drop in if you have questions regarding content and so forth. Feel free to see me during that session, that scheduled session, and then we could go over the material together. So let's go ahead then and move into materials. And once you click on materials, you'll click this, click here to get started. The Introduction to Blended Learning is one place where you can navigate through the individual sessions by clicking on those buttons. You'll also see a tutorial on navigating the course if you need it. And then there's also a Schoology handbook. So if you're like, how do I do this or how do I do that? The handbook will answer all those questions, as will I. So if you have questions, of course, I'm your #1 resource. You could come to me to ask whatever you may have need further explanation of. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our buttons for navigation. So you have 2 buttons up here that will move you through your sections. You'll also have what we call breadcrumbs up here to help you navigate as well. So whatever your preference. The next thing to go through is course resources. So let's take a look at what that looks like. There's my bio and contact information. The grading and syllabus, I'm just going to click on this very quickly. I'll let you see our sessions will be held. If there's a change in calendar or schedule, you'll see that because I will send a Google invite for the event out to you for our Google Hangouts, which are synchronous sessions, okay? So just be aware that this is located in course description and learning outcomes if you want to look ahead and mark any upcoming Google Hangouts on your calendars. And let's get back into our course resources and let's get into our course session. So here are the meat and potatoes of the session. Essentially, each session is spanning 1 week. So session 1 begins today and technically ends Friday, should you stay within that timeline. But again, because it's self-paced, you'll organize the class that and make it work for you based on your current schedule and what you have going on, okay? So let me explain some of the icons within the different sessions. Whenever you see a page icon such as this, that is going to be a reading section. So you can see here, most of the reading is built into these sections. However, there will be links to additional resources. And again, if you look at those resources and you see multiple videos, multiple article links, and so forth, that's not necessarily requiring you to go through every single resource that's available to you. You as a professional will pick and choose the resources that you can use in order to set up your blended learning environments, okay? So it's all there. More is better in terms of providing those resources for you so that you know when you walk away from this class, you'll have a solid foundation for blended learning and how that will look for you as an instructor. So let's go ahead and move back to the section. If you do not know how to set up for Google Hangout, here's some information regarding that. When you do get your invite, you'll see a Google Hangout link. You simply click on that link to join the session. I will also post the links for our sessions and the updates for that particular day. So you'll see the link in there as well that you could click on in order to join the session. This indicates a discussion. So as I already said in the orientation slide, a little bit about you. We'll go into this first discussion, and the purpose of discussions obviously is to collaborate with your peers and to bounce ideas off one another and so forth, and to engage in that thoughtful, deep conversation that is going to help you prepare to transition into this new transformative education known as blended learning. Okay, so that's what we want to see with discussions. There are no points assigned to discussions because they benefit everyone. The points that are assigned to the assignments it's just completion points. So obviously we're looking for you to be engaged in the assignments and to apply the content that you're learning in those assignments to get completion points for those. So having said that, let's take a look at what those look like. There are 3 assignments in this first session. The second assignment requires you to connect with a colleague. Reason being, when you move into session 2, there will be assignment that you and your partner will be collaborating on a blog. So you will be figuring out which blog discussion that you will post to, what you'll be posting, and so forth. So that is the upcoming assignment in session 2. So session 1 starts to prepare you for that with this particular one that wants you to connect with a colleague. If you have any questions regarding your assignment directions, please don't hesitate to contact me. When you get ready to submit, you simply click on the link. And this is, you're looking at this from an administrative point of view, but you will be able to post, you'll be able to attach documents and so forth when you submit your first assignment. So let's go ahead and get out of this particular assignment, and you'll see that the quizzes are hidden. So this class has been modified because now that we have established, based on already starting this class with some other students last week, we have gotten quite a bit of feedback about the amount of work in the class, and we truly want you to get the most out of the class without the pressure of the class being set up like a graduate level class for which you would be earning credit. Having said that, some of the quizzes that are in the course have questions built into the content. So essentially, there are questions that are reflection type questions that ask you to think about certain things, which will help you process the information that you are reading. And because of that, the quiz was taken out because those same questions appear in the quiz, and there's no need to add points or the extra assignment to this course because the questions already get you thinking about what you're learning and how you'll be applying that to your classroom. Okay, so I just want to clarify that in case there's any question as to why those quizzes are not showing in the course. And then again, there's a discussion at the end, and you'll always see a looking ahead, so you'll know what the next session will be preparing you for, okay? So that's it for navigating. Every session is pretty much the same. There will be a final project, which essentially is a template that you will be completing. And if you go back to course, click here to get started, you'll see a folder with the final project in there. It is a template that you can download and that you'll start completing. Again, as you're moving through the content, you'll be working on this, which is going to direct your instruction as you become this blended learning teacher. And so that is what it's preparing you for. But as you're going through it, should you have any questions or so forth, of course, you come immediately to me as the course facilitator, and I will help you through that document. So if there are any other questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can email me, you can text me, you call me, whatever your preferred communication mode is. And I am here to help you through that content, help you apply that content as a blended teacher myself, so that you make the most of this transition to this new way of teaching.